Hey guys, welcome back to another special birthday edition of the Banter Bets and BPL podcast, adding another B to the mix because it's Sandy's birthday, the oldest guy on the pod. We'll go to him first. Happy birthday, Sandy. And he did the best last week in betting. Happy birthday. What do you got to say for yourself?
Boys. Senior citizen, champion birthday. What a time to be alive. And I'm stuck at school for 12 hours on my birthday. But hopefully at least we can win some money here.
25 on the 25th. That's true. That's a great champagne birthday. Sucks about the school thing though. But yeah, plus $4 last week. Southampton screwed you over on the last day. Could have been more.
Could have been more, but as soon as we were coming up to that game, I wasn't hopeful at all. Southampton is just they're cursed right now. They're a mess. So
I swear, yeah. Sorry, were you gonna finish?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I swear, every time in the group chat, any one of us is like, "Yeah, I'm sitting at about even right now, but I've still got $10 on the Monday game." Every time anyone says that, that person loses the Monday game and they finish -10 or whatever.
Let's hit all sides of the Monday game this week then.
Yeah, so we have to, so that someone can be like, "Hey, I still got action on Monday," and then someone actually improves on Monday.
Teetering. We're teasing a big week, but then none of us can ever really break through. It's just like +3, -2, +1. For keeping it's like -10 cents, +15 cents somehow.
Micro movements. Yeah, I had $50 on Man City. They came through for me last week, won me 25, but I still only ended up 75 cents because the rest of my bets were garbage. Keegan, what were you? Negative a little bit, I think?
Negative 425. I was also plus 75 with 5 on Southampton. That disappointed. But if they would have won, it would have been a respectable positive, I guess. So I don't regret being in that position. I regret the team that I had and that I was backing in that position.
And lastly, Coach Cam, you're a boom or bust player. You busted this week.
I did bust. It was close for myself because I had
0 bets wide.
Because I had 6 bets, they all lost, but 2 of them were
they were all really close though.
2 of them, well, as a fan of the sport, 2 of them were close because one of them was West Ham to be leading at halftime and then Tottenham to win at full time, and that paid I think like $105, and West Ham was up at halftime but then actually ended up winning the game. And then I had the same thing happen. I had the same thing happen to me in the Everton Liverpool game. That one paid actually a decent amount too. It was like 100 something as well, and I had Everton at halftime and Liverpool at full time, and
Everton just ended up dominating the game.
And Everton ended up turning into fucking 2006, 2007 AC Milan in the second half. So it didn't really help.
That's a fun one to pull out. 2006, 7 AC
Milan. Obviously, that was an exaggeration. I was just over exaggerating that they did well in the second half. But yeah, obviously, my bets weren't close because I lost them all. But in terms of seeing that both those teams were up at halftime, it gives me some false hope that, I want to watch the second half now to see if the other team can come back and win me $100. And in both cases, they were not good enough to do so. So I lost.
I like that AC Milan shout though. Usually when people say something like that, they're like, oh, they think they're 2010 Barcelona or like 1999 Man United. But 06, 07 AC Milan is also another good team there.
Kaká,
yeah, Navarro. I think they won the Champions League that year.
Yeah.
Only a true soccer
Shevchenko was on that team.
Really pull that one off.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they still had Shevchenko. I think he might have gone to Chelsea at that point.
Maybe at that point.
We'd have to take a look.
Yeah, that was.
Cam definitely scripted that one. He prefaced his whole introduction there saying, as a fan of the game.
Oh, that's definitely not. I only remember that because I only remember that one because I have Fabio Cannavaro's Prime card on FIFA, and in the description it says that he won the Ballon d'Or in 2006 because they won the Champions League with AC Milan and he won the World Cup. So that's the only reason I knew that.
There you go.
Yeah, plus Kaká's class and the rest.
Slumdog Millionaire situation there.
Yeah.
I remember that team because I remember playing FIFA 07 was probably the first big FIFA I played, and Seedorf on AC Milan was just unreal. So yeah, I don't know. That's probably enough banter talking about I don't know, whatever we talk about. Let's get into these games this weekend. Should be a fun one. And we'll start off with the champions-elect, Manchester City, won 19 in a row, I believe, Cam?
Yeah.
Is it 19 in a row?
It's a record now, yeah.
So what do you think? Surely another win against West Ham, although they didn't beat them earlier in the season.
Yeah, they're looking almost unstoppable. I don't know if the rest of the pod agrees, but I watch them.
I agree.
Thank you, pod. When I watch them, it's almost like how many are we going to win by? Or no, I literally
did take the fun out of it, Cam.
Yeah,
Your team's too good.
It's just no. I don't know if they're like as good as they were when they broke 100 points. Like that season was pretty amazing, but just I don't know. It's just something about the way that they're working defensively. It's almost like it's just tough. Like I feel like teams are gonna have to really have almost like a perfect game, both offensively and defensively. No mistakes on either end to beat City. So I can see another win here. I'm actually honestly I'm super surprised though the fact that West Ham is 12-1. Like they're fourth place. Like how are they 12-1 odds? Surely it should be like 8. Like I'm pretty sure earlier Newcastle was like 10-1 to City earlier in the season. So I guess that just shows how
that's
dominant.
when City wasn't very good, probably.
Yeah,
they've really turned it on. Like at the start of the season, they got smacked by Leicester at the start of the season. They weren't looking good at all. They've really turned it around.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, just like a thought experiment. What would be the closest line City would have against anyone in the league?
It would have to be like what?
It would have to be away to. It was the other day. They played Liverpool, and I think they were plus money, right?
Yeah, it was plus 205. That's when I bet on them actually.
I think that would.
Go.
That type of game would be the only game you're getting plus money. Yeah. Like I don't know, away to I guess Man U's in second right now. Away to Man U or away to Leicester, would they be plus money? I don't think so.
They play United not next game week actually, right? So, I guess we'll see.
We don't have to wait long to find out the answer to my little post question.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know, Cam. Like you say, West Ham should be lower, but no one's betting against Man City right now. So I think the bookies can put that number at whatever they want, and not many people are going to take it, right?
Exactly. That is, I 100% agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I worry a little bit on this game only because West Ham have been doing well, and I don't know. Something in my bones is telling me that West Ham are gonna shoot, I guess, a little too much at the bones that City are going to be throwing at them, and are going to kind of overstep a little bit.
What a metaphor.
Yeah.
Absolute linguist as well as a historian. We got over here.
Yeah, geez. Cam's informed tonight.
I think that, I don't know, because they're in fourth place, I think they might try to push a little bit too much and maybe see themselves exposed a little bit more than they should, because they're a little hot and they're in fourth, which is a big achievement.
And maybe you're also a little scared of our secret agent we sent there, Jesse Lingard, who's been playing well. He could help Man United isn't catching them, but it's still be nice to send a secret agent over.
Yeah,
do some damage.
That's the sleeper cell that Keegs knows so much about sleeper cells with Sanunchu last season.
So you mentioned it's got to be a record, Cam. The record for top flight victories in a row is 24, set by what team? Who can name the team? Cam.
If I had to guess, I'd probably say Arsenal.
Sandy, Keegan, any guesses? No one's gonna get it. But
I don't think it's Arsenal, because you're thinking they tie a bunch of games that year.
Yeah.
Liam said no one's probably going to get it, so I'm going to go Nottingham Forest in their heyday.
Ooh, that's a good guess. This is a South American team.
Oh, I thought it was Premier.
I thought it was just
this is all. Sorry, yeah, guys, all top flight.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah.
With Boca Juniors?
No.
Can I go with
Universidad de Chile.
Another good guess.
I'm not going to guess anymore. I can't even guess a South American team. Probably some Argentinian team.
No, it's a Brazilian team called Coritiba or something like that. I heard that fact.
I think I recognize the badge. I think they got a green one, don't they?
Could do. I don't know. It's been a while since I played FUT. So, but yeah, 24 wins in a row. So Bayern had 23. I think they said Real Madrid had 21 or something. So I don't know. We'll see, Cam. See what happens. Keegan, if I were to say you have to pick one of these events to happen, West Ham finishes the season in the top 4, or Manchester City win the quadruple, which is more likely?
I don't know. That's a really tough question because I feel like, I guess if I had to pick one, I'd probably take City to win the quadruple, and it's just painful to say. But at this point in time, I mean, West Ham's 3 or 4 points ahead of Chelsea and ahead of Liverpool. So I mean, realistically, you need one of those teams to catch them. Chelsea have been looking good. Liverpool might turn it around, hopefully for them. And so I think that West Ham winning or finishing top 4 is I'd say it's completely unrealistic, but not impossible. That's where I'd put it. So very low probability. And the odds of City winning the quadruple, I'd say, is just low probability, not a very low probability. So. I mean, it just takes City to lose one game, and it's up for them. So I don't know. It's pretty tough to say, but
yeah, I'm proud of myself for thinking of that one. Pretty good, pretty even. But no, the reason I actually asked you that, Keegan, was I was hoping we'd have another bet between you and Cam. You would say West Ham finishing top 4 is more likely. Cam would say City winning the quadruple, and we could have another bet. But I guess
I'll gladly bet neither if someone wants to.
I don't think either will happen either.
So yeah.
All right, fair enough. That should be a fun game. It might be a cheeky 4:30 wake up. We'll see how we're feeling tomorrow, Sandy, or how we're feeling Saturday morning. Hopefully, celebrate your birthday tomorrow night.
Still be awake.
Could still be awake. There you go. Yeah, it's been a while for me since that happened, but you never know. We'll roll right along from an exciting game to the Albion Derby. West Bromwich Albion, Brighton and Hove Albion. So we'll start with West Brom. They got a red card last weekend early. It's one of those boneheaded plays from the defender, if you guys saw it, where he used his hand. It was basically Thierry Henry handball, but to prevent a breakaway for Vidra. It was Vidra. So even let Vidra have a breakaway. The guy never scores anyway. So I don't know why you're scared of a Vidra breakaway. But any case, they're down to 10 men and Burnley still can't beat them. My question for you, Sandy, you've been on some pretty good teams in your time. Do you think you've ever played on a team that could at least match the Burnley result against this 10-man West Brom? That was pretty sad from Burnley that they couldn't beat them.
Are we just talking straight up stalker matches? Or are we gonna include like shotgun shootouts here or what?
I'm saying Sunday morning Kenora tournament, everyone's drank the same amount throughout the weekend. We've got this West Brom guys, they've done shotgun shootout. You think Dynamo could give 10-man West Brom a run Sunday morning Kenora tournament at Tom Nab Park?
You know what? I would say that we could probably get him poison enough to maybe give him a shot, but I'm just thinking like they got Ivanovic back there, that man by himself. I'm sure he could hang, and he would probably just do us in by himself. He'd flip the script on us. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be a tough sell no matter what.
We could even maybe throw Hudson and Ivanovic in a little pig pen together and have them wrestle as a sideshow. That'd be fun too.
Ivanovic looks like he makes his own moonshine. So
yeah,
that's what he looks like.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, fair enough. Ivanovic would be huge for them that weekend.
You'd take more than his fair share.
Yeah, he's the Pentek of their team.
God.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe one day West Brom, you guys can come to the Kenora tournament and we'll iron this out. Moving along to the other Albion, Brighton. My question for you, Keegan, how frustrating is it watching Brighton play? Because you've been on them as XG darlings. I've backed you. I agree. I think they play some good stuff and create chances, but they just don't score. And the annoying part about this is Kieran, if what Brighton somehow go down, Kieran's going to be right, even though he doesn't know anything about XG, and he's kind of dumb about his argument about them. But if Brighton keeps struggling, Kieran's right. So this is frustrating for me. I can only imagine it's frustrating for you too.
Well, I mean, I never looked at it from that point of view because I never actually considered Kieran's opinion, regardless of the outcome. It's just a wrong opinion, and I mean.
Yeah, but if you're gonna tell him that after Brighton's relegated and shouldn't have been relegated on XG, that's not gonna fly.
Well, I mean, his opinion doesn't really actually make sense, so I never even considered it legitimate. I mean, there's actually academic articles that point to the legitimacy of expected goals as an indicator of future success, and so I mean, there's that side of the argument, and then there's you hit that against Kieran, so I don't think he has a legitimate argument. And but to answer your question about how frustrating it is to watch Brighton, honestly, it's not that frustrating because I'm not really a diehard Brighton fan. I mean, I just root for them on any given game, but they produce entertaining games, so it's not really that frustrating to watch an entertaining game, if I'm being honest with you. So
Ian's an unbiased sports analyst. He just points out the facts.
He's just a facts man.
I guess you can't be wrong in that sense, because you can just say, hey, the numbers said this was going to happen. So
yeah, I guess it's not really Keegan producing the numbers. It's not like he's doing the XG. He's getting them from whatever source he is. So
yeah, but Keegan's defending them. Keegan's relaying them to our audience, and that is reflecting poorly on us currently.
Yeah, you can't blame the fax machine. You can only blame the sender, right? So
which one am I in that?
You're the fax machine. You're the one that's relaying the information you're getting, but you're not the one that's actually
so I'm not
getting the
fault.
information. You're not at fault.
Ian,
sorry if that flew over your guys' head. Yeah, sorry if that flew over everyone's head. That's what I meant. I meant that Keegan's the one that's just relaying the facts, and the actual sender is whoever's doing these XGs. So
another belter from Cam. We got fax machines. We got dog bones that are being gnawed at a little too strongly.
A little bit.
We got Prime AC Milan.
Yeah, all right. I did my research for the banter this time. Don't worry.
He looked up metaphors that have never before been used.
How would they be on the internet if they've never been used?
There you go. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully Brighton wins this one against West Brom, and they can consider themselves as good as Dynamo, who I'm confident would beat a 10-man West Brom. We got Leeds United, Aston Villa. So here's a funny one that I'm hoping you guys heard of this week was so Aston Villa, they had Grealish injured, but Dean Smith, their manager, didn't want anyone to know. And so he was keeping it hush hush, but then the Villa players that play for Aston Villa all dropped Grealish from their fantasy team. So the word got out before the game or whatever that Grealish isn't playing because he's hurt. And now Dean Smith, their manager, got mad at them for doing that and banned them from playing fantasy. So just kind of a funny situation. Keegan, do you have anything to add to this Grealish fantasy fiasco here?
I think it's brilliant. And well, the thing that I immediately thought when I saw this was, well, shit, how come I'm not following any of these players' fantasy teams to get the inside scoop? So if anyone knows where to find the teams of the pro players that are in the game, I'd love to look at their teams before every week to get the inside scoop. So I'm a little.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm a little upset with myself that I never thought to do that. That's brilliant. Love that story.
No. I'm thinking I'm gonna DM Douglas Luiz, Ross Barkley, ask for the code to their fantasy league so I can get the inside scoop. Sandy, as the Grealish owner, you should probably be looking into that.
Yeah. What was the situation there? I kind of zoned out.
Grealish. The Aston Villa players all dropped Grealish from their fantasy team, and that tipped off I guess the opponent. Who did they play last week? They played. They lost to someone.
League or no? Yeah,
they lost to Wolves.
Everton, wasn't it?
Everton. No.
I don't think it was Wolves.
Leicester. They lost to Leicester.
Leicester.
They lost to Leicester, who I guess Leicester figured it out and was able to plan for a non-Grealish game. Which, by the way, how do you plan? Why is Dean Smith even mad that this got leaked? Surely once you don't need to know that Grealish isn't playing. Once you see he's not there, you're like, oh, that's sick, guys. Their best player isn't playing.
Yeah.
Ditch the game plan and do everything different. No, it's like, okay, their good player isn't playing. That's great.
Yeah.
Honestly,
his plan was to give him a week off to prepare. All right, well, we don't need to do anything here. Villa's toast.
Honestly, I think I don't know why he's not happy with the players. Now he knows that he can one day drop Ross Barkley. Everyone can just drop them and people are going to believe that he's injured and then last second throw his ass in and everyone's going to be shocked. So I don't know why they didn't think well, this could be used for our.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Right?
They should be using this as a false trail.
Exactly. If teams are actually using who's being dropped in fantasy to prepare, why not take advantage of that and just throw everyone for a loop and just start dropping your best players?
Yeah,
when they're actually fit.
Like in Harry Potter 7, when Dawlish the Auror let slip that Harry Potter was being moved Saturday next, but really he was actually being moved the week before, and Snape knew it, and that's how they ambushed them in Harry Potter 7.
Yeah.
So you could use it as kind of exactly. He's like, okay, boys, I don't know, it's game week 38. They're pushing for Europa League, and they're like, all right, boys, everyone drop Grealish. And then the other team's like, oh, they don't have Grealish. We already won. And then they play Grealish.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, they actually have him, and they don't know what to do.
And someone comes out with a balaclava and they pull it off and it's Grealish.
And then the other team says we would have made the Champions League if it wasn't for Grealish and those meddling fantasy players.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know why he's mad. I think that was just poor management.
If Cam, you should be on the Aston Villa coaching staff. You could
I might
put
DM
that idea forward.
Right up the DM him and be like, hey, by the way, this could be used for your advantage. Yeah. Exactly.
You missed the trick here, Mr. Smith.
Geez. Honestly, don't screw him. I'm gonna DM who are they playing? I'm gonna DM the Leeds manager and say, just drop Patrick Bamford. Tell everyone to drop PB, and then you guys can win because
you'll have to message the interpreter. Yeah, you'll have to find his interpreter on social media.
I could probably go on Google Translate to Spanish.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, that's enough on Grealish. I like that little bit there. Taps all around, stick taps all around for that. All right, this was my challenge for you guys too, because, and I'm going to self-indulge a little bit here. I absolutely love having Dallas on my fantasy team. Having a defender in fantasy that plays as a midfielder and kind of produces at the rate of a midfielder, is there anything better? So my challenge for you guys was to name anything in life that's better than a fantasy defender who plays far up the pitch. Keegan, you got anything?
Yeah, I thought of this one earlier because I knew this question was coming. So the fun one that I thought of would be the only thing better than that in real life, because that's a pretty great thing. The only thing better than that would be Branislav Ivanovic on the Damager.
Branislav Ivanovic on the Damager. Yep, Kenora tournament. That's a good one.
But the more serious one that I thought of beforehand was probably just because it almost happened for Ederson would be your goalkeeper taking penalties in fantasy.
That's true.
Oh,
that would be great.
That is true.
Sandy, anything in life better than having a defender who plays as a midfielder?
Just a simple joy, but something that's hard to come by would be picking up a forward who plays.
A forward who plays, that's very true. Yep. Agreed with that one. Yeah. Cam, you got anything off the board?
Oh,
it doesn't have to be fantasy related at all.
It doesn't. No.
As a matter of fact, it might be best even if it isn't.
Oh, I'm trying to think because this is tough because that's pretty great. We knew how great Lundstrom was last season. He was in a similar position. Oh, I would say maybe, and it's pretty close to this, but obviously we can get the Pod's opinion. I would say that maybe winning Lotto 649. Maybe. What is
maybe.
That? It's what? That's what. What? Like like
Oh, I got
$82
another good
million
one.
or whatever now. Like that, I don't know. It's close.
One of mine is something that could be better than having a defender who plays a midfielder is after a long week of university and at school, and you crack that first beer on Friday. That's pretty great too.
That is great. That is good.
Sandy, what do you got?
The only reason that wasn't better is because the Friday Beers Instagram account wasn't along with University.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the vibes if that was
I actually just thought of one more thing on the spot. And I know some people can relate, probably Keegan the most, is when you're sitting at a blackjack table and you have 11, a 5 and a 6, and you double down and you flip over a king. Like that must be, and that joy is you can't even describe it. I can't even describe it. Doubling down to a 21. Holy man. I can fly after
That's
that
a good one. Sandy?
Java gut after a hangover.
Oh my God.
I mean, I'm not good for hangover food, but yeah, Java Hut breakfast. There you go.
That's good.
How about
Sandy's got one, guys. Let him talk here.
How about when someone you're competing with for a fantasy title trade to their best player?
Oh, that's a direct shot to Cameron.
Okay. Like, I don't even have to mention. I've already said this to Keegan. I'll say it on the pod. Another hot take. I am supremely confident that Abreche, Eze, and Ilkay Gundogan will produce more points together from this game week forward than Marcus Rashford. Period. Another thing is Raheem Sterling is much better than Marcus Rashford in fantasy. So I don't even know why I'm indulging this conversation.
Okay, but you said that to me last week before Rashford scored a dirty, naughty goal.
Okay, that was complete nonsense. Like, come on. That was a near post. Sandy, you're a keeper. He scored on the near post, 3 yards left of the fucking near post. Like, how is that possible? You wouldn't even be moving left to right there or right to left. Or you're a goalie too, Keegan. You'd be at the near post. He was there.
I thought that was pretty sloppy, but nothing surprised me anymore with Prem goalies. They're also trash.
The only nice I liked about that was the nutmeg to build up, but I don't know. I didn't think it was as dirty as everyone made it sound. But of course, I didn't want to watch because I was a little embarrassed for what has just happened. So Gundogan's on a double game week this upcoming week. So yeah.
Well, after replay the sound bite from like 7 podcasts ago of you saying Rashford was the best player in the Prem.
I definitely didn't say he was the best player in the Prem. We need to calm down for editors. If you could find that clip, play it now. But I'd said he was the
aggregators
best player on Manchester United.
Austin, I know you're out there listening. Find that for us, buddy.
Find that one, yeah.
Yeah.
And
at least that were Walcott too. I mean, that was an absolute brick weighing you down. Not sure.
Thank God I got rid of him.
We had Dave. Dave and his Dave made a trade in the league this week too, and he pulled a similar line. He's like, thank God I got rid of Wijnaldum. Thank God Cody took Wijnaldum. Like, you can't just drop the guy.
I was thinking of dropping him, but like the best option was like Sully March is on the waiver wire. There was just some waste options.
Who's got like a torn ACL.
Plus, whatever. It's just hard for at the time because whenever I'm trying to pick up a good midfielder, I never end up getting them. So I thought that it's me trading Walcott away. It's almost like my waiver pick.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Whatever. It is where it is. There's like I can't rue on what I did. I have to just live with it and prepare my team every week. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like,
there you go.
Sandy, you could have been closer, but you choked this week as well. So let's not forget about that. You could have been 2 points behind by your.
I don't think we should get too far into the fast stuff. But yeah, my team's a fucking hot mess right now, and I got a big match with Mike coming right now. Things are looking bleak. Bleak in the sloth squad.
Yeah. Anyway, it's getting close. The top 4 or 5. I don't know where Devin Curry is now, Liam. You beat him, but it's going to be really fun. I think the last couple of weeks, because last year you won with 3 or 4 weeks left, Liam.
Yeah. But yeah, nice. We got a good fantasy league. Not much better than a defender who does the scoring of a midfielder. Thank you, Dallas, for winning me this week. Let's move along. We got Newcastle Wolves. So, Newcastle, they looked safe. 3 points above Fulham now. Cam, how on is the relegation battle? It's on, but how on is it?
Holy man, it is on right now. Like, my goodness, it is on. It is just on. I can't believe Newcastle just aren't looking good, are they? Like you watch them and they have nothing going for them. I was telling Keegan last week how Joelinton got that haircut. Did you guys hear about that? He right after St. Maximin and
Didn't you say that on the pod last week?
Oh, did I say that already? Oh,
no,
I can't remember.
This is the first time.
Anyway. Okay, well, yeah, Lascelles and St. Maximin just recovered from the new strain of COVID, and Joelinton went out and got a new haircut when he was supposed to be like isolating and posted it, and then got fined and benched for like 3 games straight because he was putting his teammates at risk right after. And I just thought like their team they just aren't that good. Like, my goodness. Yeah, I was looking at some of their scoring frequency and chances created and their scoring frequency besides Callum Wilson, who's injured. Their next highest player is Andy Carroll, which scores every 421 minutes. Like, that's their highest, like, that's 1 goal every, 4.5 games? Like, what is that? That means they're scoring.
Carroll's a per minute monster, man.
Like, it's just, and their highest chances created, big chance created was St. Maximin with 3. Like, they're all over the place. They're in trouble. They're in trouble.
Yeah. St. Maximin is fun. He was fun to watch against Man United. Yeah, I don't know. Newcastle are in trouble. I agree, Cam. Anyone else? Anyone have anything on Wolves? I find it tough to talk about Wolves. They're kind of boring. Crickets. That's what I figured. We'll just move right along then. We'll talk maybe a little bit more about the relegation battle now that we have got Fulham on this. Sandy, Fulham, you got Madja. You're a Fulham fan now. Does Fulham stay up? Do they win this game and do they stay up?
Yeah, boys. I mean, I'm not gonna say like sit out here saying I was like leading the charge, like first guy in the vanguard, whatever, of the Fulham's gonna stay up battalion. But I've been on them for a few weeks here. I scouted out their schedule, so they had a few good games, and I'm pretty optimistic here. I like them here again against a shitty Palace team. Good chance to pick up some more points, and yeah, they're a fun team. They're gonna be fun to cheer for. For a relegation team, they're about as frisky as it comes.
They are frisky, yeah, I agree. Friskier than some of this isn't a phony frisky team like some of the other teams we were talking about earlier in the season. This is a real frisky team. And the relegation battle, yeah, it was looking like the relegation battle wouldn't be fun, but hopefully we at least have something to hang on to for the rest of the season here. Keegan, did you watch the Palace Brighton game on Monday?
No, I didn't watch it. Saw the highlights though.
Because if anyone watched that I saw some of it, and it looked like, and from what I'm hearing, it was probably the most undeserved win of the season for Palace. Absolute smash and grab. They were dominated the whole season, and then somehow pulled out the win. How did they do it, Keegan? Did you see Benteke's goal?
Yeah, it was a nice little finish. If I'm being honest with you, but the Matata. What a finish that was too. That was brilliant. Can't say enough good things about that goal. That was awesome. Anyways, but yeah, I did a little, not a very deep dive, but just a surface level dive, nice shallow dive into this game. 25 shots for Brighton, 3 for Palace. Trossard and Welbeck both missed really good chances. The expected goals.
Lallana missed chances.
Yeah, the expected goals was 2.59 for Brighton, which isn't a crazy amount, but that's a good number. And Crystal Palace had 0.18, and managed to score 2 goals out of their 3 shots.
Nice.
So yeah, I think a smash and grab would be an understatement. That's a train robbery.
Yeah. And this is how I know you've been having an influence on my thinking, because the minute I saw that Benteke goal go in, I was like, oh man, the expected goals on that chance is way low. And then I was like, the expected win for this was way low. Like, this is the most undeserved win ever.
Actually, that's another one that I left out, but the expected points and keeping in mind that this includes draws as well. This isn't just the probability of winning the game, but the expected points for Palace was 0.09, and they came away with all 3 there.
That's
classic
maximizing.
This is why Brighton's so high up on there. Theirs was what? It would have been like 2.8. I think it was 2.84 expected points, and came away with 0. So that's why they're so far up the table that doesn't matter.
That's 2 absolute shockers from the expected goals. They did that one against Villa where I bet they drew, but I bet it was similar. They outshot him I know Martinez had like 12 saves in fantasy. I bet they outshot him like 25-3.
Yeah, I think they did. It was something crazy like that.
Just wanted to say, I think Mike had to get a new pair of pants after watching that game. It's the old FIFA situation where you get outshot 20-2, but score your two shots.
Yeah,
2 goals.
Yeah, Mike loved that as a FIFA player.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know. On Brighton still, like I was watching them. It was 1-1. Seemed like they're the only, what team was going to win? It was only ever going to be them. But they just pass the ball around. They get into a decent position. They never cross. It's like crossing is a no-no. And they had so many opportunities. They just pass it backwards. It doesn't come to anything. And then Palace gets the ball for 30 seconds of the last 30 minutes, throw in a prayer of a cross, really.
It was a literal prayer.
Townsend wasn't even looking. He just kind of crosses it in, and Benteke scores like a turnaround volley, basically. And it's just like, wow, how does that happen?
That game was funny to me because it just reminded me of, I don't know why, but Crystal Palace looked honestly like St. Patrick High School or St. Ignatius High School. Like the goals were unbelievable, the actual finishes, but the chances were, I don't know if you guys saw like the 10-second build-up, but for the first goal, it was literal. They won the ball, they pumped it 50 yards. Ayew won the ball, dribbled 20 yards, up muscled, and put like the weakest cross in, and then Mateta scored the back heel. And then on the second goal, they won the ball. Jordan Ayew dribbles 30 yards cross field, passes to Townsend. He does a Hail Mary full of grace, throws the ball in, and they score. I was like, this is like literally like 1 in 2,000 that a game like this happens. Like it was, I couldn't believe it.
Benteke with the LeBron celebration too, the calm down was just perfect for the moment.
I think Benteke did that first, to be fair.
Yeah.
Love to see the timeline on that.
LeBron's doing the Benteke celebration then.
At least, actually, I don't want to know the timeline. I'm just going to keep that in my mind and hope it's true.
Yeah, let's say that. And from now on, if we see LeBron do that, he's doing the Benteke celebration. All right, yeah. Fun. This I guess that's why the games are played, right? Anything can happen. Moving along, Leicester Arsenal, 2 teams who are in midweek Europa League action, and I got a bone to pick with Leicester, not just because I had them in a parlay this week, but why, Cam, why isn't Leicester trying in the Europa League? They 2 legs against Slavia Prague, they can't even score a goal. People are going to say, oh, they're trying in for the Premier League. They care about the Premier League. Teams can care about 2 competitions and try to win them both. What's the deal here?
So scratching my chin, I was looking at this. I was trying to go, finding the statistics and really giving you a detailed answer. And then I'm like, there's actually only one real answer here, the real logical answer. It's because Brendan Rodgers is being a baby. He's pouting. And you know what I mean? You know exactly what I mean, Liam? And we've all done this for sure when we were younger, and you probably know because you teach now. It's when you want to do something, you want to get in. They wanted to get the Champions League, and they didn't get in, and now they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to try. I'm not going to do the Europa League because that's not fair. I didn't get in the Champions League. Like, tell me that this is wrong. You can't. We've all done it. We've all didn't get what we wanted, and we pouted, and we didn't try for this, or we put on a different team, or we didn't put on with our buddies in a group, and we didn't try. That's my only explanation. He's not trying. He's pouting.
Yeah, or
he's in the Europa League.
And it's kind of the childish thing too, where it's like, oh well, yeah, we didn't actually want to be in the Europa League anymore. Like, well, we didn't. Yeah, we lost. We don't care. We just care about the Premier League.
So that's honestly what I think it is. I think he's pouting.
Mm-hmm. Arsenal, on the other hand, big comeback win today. I mean, the Europa League's just about all they got. They're 11th in the Premier League still. They could realistically finish in the bottom half. That would be something. Brother Keegs, how many more years until we see Arsenal finish in the top 4?
If I were to set the line for everyone to bet on, it would probably be this year, the end of this season counts as 1 year, so I'd probably say 4.5 would be the line.
4.5. Is anyone taking the under on that? Cam, Sandy?
I'd probably hop on the under, yeah.
You think they make it there quicker?
He's an under man.
That's a decent amount of years. 4 years is a long way away.
I'm not sure I could bring myself to do it. There's just so many better teams in the league than Arsenal these days.
I wouldn't want to have to wait 5 years for a bet to pay out. So I just hope that no bit of cash next year.
Fair enough.
I can bring myself to it.
Yeah. I don't know. This should be a fun game, though.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Leicester, they just have no depth, Like, and Madison's out right now. I don't know. There's kind of like, it kind of makes sense to resting guys in Europa League. Just play devil's advocate a little bit.
Yeah, I honestly kind of have to agree somewhat. It's easy for us who are just watching the games to be like, oh, you're not playing too many games.
Don't, guys. Don't give into that argument.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. You're just a little. You clearly value the Europa League, as you've had to convince yourself that it actually matters to have these debates with people because Man United's been winning.
No, but it's not even that. It's like the Europa League doesn't really matter for a team like Manchester United or a team like Chelsea. But for a team like Leicester, this could be a huge European win for them if they won the Europa League. Yeah. That's the type of team that you go for it.
I kind of agree with that, actually.
Yeah, I just feel that like Arsenal and Leicester, both in the Premier League, they're both having the same amount of games. I feel like they both have similar teams. I actually think that Leicester's been way better this season than Arsenal, and Arsenal was able to get the job done. So I don't really see how we can use that too many games
against a better team as well.
That's completely. You know that's Cam. You're looking at it from the wrong side. The fact is that because Leicester's better than Arsenal, Leicester actually care about the Premier League. Arsenal are in 11th, so I'd argue that for Arsenal, the Europa League's way more important.
Yeah, that's the only thing that matters for them.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that the argument of, well, we need to rest players, like, I don't know. I feel like they both have the same amount of games. And
Arsenal's probably resting guys, and like they can rest guys in Premier League, or at least I don't know.
Yeah, but like who did Leicester even rest in this game?
Barnes
they played everybody.
Barnes and their fullbacks, Castagna and Pereira were their rest.
Like, I don't know.
I agree. I think they still should have been able to get the job done, or at least score over 2 legs against Slavia Prague. Come on.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. And as much as you want to focus on one competition, like, you don't completely disregard the other competition.
Maybe you're just not giving Slavia Prague enough credit. Maybe they're a decent.
Oh, that's another team. Yeah.
What do you know about Slavia Prague?
I think that's
how good they are.
Is that the team that Suchek and Kufal came from?
I was about to say the exact same thing. So by all indications,
there you go. They lost their best
players. Pretty good.
No, they lost their best players.
It's just a pipeline.
Maybe.
they just have clones.
Maybe Slavia Prague will go on to win the Kufal clone. Maybe Slavia Prague will go on to win the Europa League, and I will definitely be proven wrong. All right, moving along. Spurs, Burnley. Spurs, another team with a big performance this week in Europe. 4-0 win. So this is again a bit of a biased question. I've got Alderweireld in fantasy. Cam, you had Alderweireld for a bit. Alderweireld is Spurs' best defender, but they never play him. They play Dyer and Sanchez. Alderweireld played this week in the Europa League, 4-0 win, clean sheet. Not a good opponent, but like they lose every week in the league and they don't play him. I don't understand. Sandy, why don't Tottenham play their good defenders? What is Jose up to?
Just quickly before I answer that question, did Henderson save a pen today?
No. Oh,
guy skied one.
The guy, it was a horrible penalty. Yeah, Oyarzabal, and apparently he had a sick penalty record too. And he did I'm going to look at the goalie the whole time, and wait him out. and then Henderson just stood in the middle, and Oyarzabal, I think he kicked the ball without looking at it and just shanked it wide.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Aaron from the background shouted out that he was 18 for 18 for penalties with that team.
There you go.
He had the rare
record.
penalty kick.
Yeah. Anyways, why doesn't Tottenham play their good defenders?
I was just looking at that and I was gonna be like, the plot thickens, boys. When was the last time De Gea saved a pen? But no, never mind. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you bring a good point up there, but I mean, they don't have good defenders, so that's why I don't play them, I guess.
Surely they have better than Sanchez and Dyer, who's looked bad this year.
And Tanganga.
And Tanganga, yeah.
Can you do the Tanganga?
Tam Fett.
Is that his name? His first name?
His name's Tam Fett.
No, it starts with a J. It's Jaffet.
Oh, Jam Fett?
Jaffet.
Oh, I thought it was a T.
We could use some pronunciation lessons on that for sure.
Yeah,
he also looks like the black Chris Pike, if anyone knows what he looks like.
No, the African-American Chris Pike is Kobe White, who plays for the Chicago Bulls. If you Google Kobe White, Chicago Bulls, he's a spitting image of Chris Pike, but African-American.
I didn't know black guys could have bowl cuts.
It's not, he doesn't have the same hair, but his face is Chris Pike for sure. Cheeky dick and Pike hair.
It actually is.
Don't take me, take the bowl. Maybe Spurs is following your school of thought, and they're resting guys in the Premier League for their Europa League matches.
Could be.
Bouts.
Maybe, yeah. But like they played Vinicius in the Europa League, so I guess they didn't have much pressure. I think they won 8-0 on aggregate. So, do I got anything? Here's a one on Burnley. So Vidra, I swear Vidra is got to be. You talked about minutes per goal earlier, Cam, and Carroll's minutes per goal. Vidra's got to be the worst minutes per goal for a striker in the Premier League. I swear that guy's always playing and absolutely never scoring. So my question for you, will he ever score a Premier League goal again, Matej Vidra?
Well, I'm going to have to throw you guys some stats here. The first is...
No way.
I don't have the frequency of goals because I would have to manually look it up, like type it in, and the app didn't have, because he has 0 goals in the Premier League. He has also 0 assists. He has 0 goal contributions in the Premier League this season. And I thought that's where it stopped. You know, I'm like, okay, that must be where it stops. But then it went a little deeper. I had to look at last Premier League season as well. And it wasn't looking good at all. I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know. Like, if he's ever going to score. I don't think he's going to score this season at all.
Well, that would be the thing. Do you think he won't score this season and then he's probably done?
I honestly think he's the type of player that's going to be, like he won't score this season and then he's going to move to like I don't even know. A Russian
Preston.
Team. Yeah.
I was going to say a championship team.
Probably be a Slavia Prague next year.
Yeah, he'll be knocking Leicester out of the Europa League next year.
Or like CSKA Moscow or something like that. Like one of those teams he's going to be going to. And then somehow being a fucking star and scoring 15 goals there. Like,
wow. It's not a bad prediction.
Right? Like Sebastian Haller left and has already like 8 goals or something for Ajax, like something like that. Like but I like that. Know. He hasn't. It must have been. I think he's played like 11 games this season and has no goals. So that's
okay. Like Matej Vidra. So, I'll just hop in here with the Matej Vidra stats here. It's actually not as bad as it appears. He's only played 530 minutes. 530 minutes. And to put that into perspective, Jay Rodriguez for them is twice the minutes and only has 1 goal. So.
Yeah, but even last season, Keegan, Vidra was playing a lot and wasn't scoring at all. I bet you if you looked at last season's stats too, they'd be telling as well. But yeah, maybe we're being a little harsh on Matej. Watch him score this weekend against Tottenham. Ruin my potential Alderweireld clean sheet. Anyways, we'll move along. Chelsea, Manchester United. This is the big one, guys. This is the one. Myself versus Marco. Keegan versus Marco, any Manchester United fan versus Marco, basically. And in the annoying battle in the group chat. This is big bragging rights. Brother Keegs, Manchester United against a big team. Chelsea playing boring stuff against Tuchel. Has this got 0-0 written all over it or what?
Oh, for sure. What are the odds?
11.
11.
Don't worry.
Probably.
We've all looked.
I've got that
11.
one locked and loaded.
I mean, big teams 0-0 is, but in itself is a good one. The first game of the season was 0-0. Pretty low expected goal. Best scoring chance had 12% chance of going in that game. So it was pretty dry. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it again. But in a Rashford fashion, he's probably going to step up, and he's probably going to rub salt in Cam's wounds when he loses in fantasy this week.
Oh, I hope so.
Okay,
that would be a nice touch.
I'll be honest. There's a very, 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 very small chance I lose in fantasy this particular week. Only because I play your dad, and I have like.
Oh well, there you go. You could just stop right there.
I say no more, please.
Yeah, that's. Oh yeah, I 8 of my 11 starters have double game weeks. 4 of them being City players. So I don't know, and I know your dad's best player, Aubameyang, Arsenal doesn't have a double game week. So
Cam, a double game week for City players, that's just a single game week because they're all going to get rotated for another game.
Actually, you said, I don't know if, I can't remember if you said that last time, but last double game week, both Sterling and Mahrez played both, and Gundogan played both as well, actually.
And Bernardo.
Before I had him. So, and Kyle Walker played one. That's the only reason I kept Kyle Walker, is because I'm like, he'll play once out of these 2 games. So I might as well get him in.
Saturday, Tuesday though, it's a quick turnaround. I'd be worried, Cam. And
after a midweek game, Champions League, with a Champions League game next week too. No, I guess not next week, but the week after.
It's like March 12th or something, isn't it? The next games.
Also, everyone has double game weeks. I have like 13 guys with double game weeks.
Yeah.
See, I only have 4. I'm gonna get crushed this week.
Really?
Yeah.
I know Bill doesn't have that many either. I was looking, but anyway, yeah. I don't know what I was actually going. I basically said that I don't think Marcus Rashford's going to score this game either. I draw. So,
do you think Dan James scores this week, Cam? There's one of the funny moments in the group chat. At midweek, the group chat blows up on the weekends, and then midweek it's just like Kieran and Nate, guys that are doing nothing anyway, talking about random stuff. My nugget that I took was them debating whether Dan James is back after his goal last weekend. That was a Kieran and Nate debate. Yeah. Is Dan James back to his best?
Yeah, that is Kieran's exact words were, is Dan James back to his best? And then Kieran said that he believes so because of his goal he scored. And I'm going to say, I don't believe so. And he also got injured today and got subbed out. So I don't know if he's going to be playing against Chelsea on the weekend. There's surely Mason Greenwood's better than Dan James. Surely. Like, I don't know.
James, yeah. He's going to be a good fullback one day. He's going to be a good right back.
I haven't seen much of Dan James, to be honest.
When was Dan James at his best? Like, what's the best for comparing?
I never saw him. I never had him. Like, I never saw him play before, but I drafted him last season, and he scored in his debut and the game after that.
Yeah.
So
that was his best. Those 2 games.
His debut goal was like a curler top right corner, I'm pretty sure.
And then against Southampton was a really nice goal too.
So I had him for those days, and then I traded him to Keegan for Wilfred Zaha last season, and then he was absolutely awful. So
there you go. Well, I guess we'll all be proven wrong when James scores the winner. He scored against Chelsea before.
I honestly don't care if Bruno Fernandes scores 3 penalties. As long as Chelsea lose and Marcus Rashford doesn't produce, I'm happy with the result.
All righty. Moving along, getting close to the end now. Sheffield United, Liverpool. Got absolutely nothing to say about Sheffield United. So we'll move it to Liverpool. And there's been some chatter around some gossip on the back pages that Mane and Salah do not get along. Mane thinks, I'm the team player. Salah just cares about himself. Salah thinks, yeah, of course I care about myself. I'm the best goal scorer in the league. You guys should be passing me the ball more. Is there a breakup? Is there a split coming, Sandy? What do you think?
Yeah, sounds like there's some dissension in the locker room, but I'm gonna take a little bit of I'm gonna ziggle it here and say Klopp's lost the room. Fucking get him out, boys. See you later. Time's up.
Wow, Klopp's lost the room, eh?
Kloppy.
See ya.
So you're saying if Mane and Salah maybe form a friendship and they go and they're like, it's either him or me, but they're saying together, like it's either Klopp or us. We both walk or Klopp walks. You're saying Klopp's got to be the guy to go.
I mean, I'm not saying they should do that or anything. I'm not suggesting that. I don't want to be like
wink, wink,
held accountable or anything. But if it was like a us or them situation, yeah, I think you guys it's a players league.
Okay, what if it's an it's me or him situation, Salah or Mane? Who do you stick with?
Salah. Let's be real here, boys.
Whoa.
You think Mane, Keegan?
I think Mane, but I also think Liverpool probably should have sold Salah for 130 million or whatever to Barcelona or something when they had the chance.
It's funny you say that because I was actually going to say the complete opposite. I think that they should keep Salah and they should have sold Sadio Mane when he was up.
Yeah, I mean, Mane might be a little more game breaking, but Salah is just the end product guy. Like he scores, he finishes moves.
Goals are the hardest things to come by, and Salah is a good goal scorer.
I'm just wondering, this debate came up when Salah dropped Sadio Mane from his fantasy team.
Could be.
And they're like, holy shit, they're beefing now. He dropped them.
That's how everything's decided now.
In your fantasy teams.
Maybe that's one of the insults that he had loaded in his back pocket. Well, I'm dropping you for my fantasy team because you suck.
I never owned you.
And I'm not even using my free.
You up in the first place.
I'm not using my free hit. I'm taking the -4 points.
Yeah. I'm never triple captaining you again. It's a good one, Cam, than -4. On a bit more of a serious note, which doesn't usually happen on this podcast, but Alisson, did you hear about the tragedy? His father was swimming in Brazil this week and drowned in a lake in Brazil. So that's pretty sad. Do you think he takes some time off here? Or do you think we see a somber but strong Alisson playing for his dad in this game?
Oh, this was actually a tough one for me because I firstly thought of that coming and playing and representing for his father and doing a great job, but then another part of me, I was kind of split, was thinking that with his recent form and maybe that could be messing up his mentally.
Maybe he needs a break
in terms
anyway.
of soccer, that this could be a way to take a well-needed break with his family and kind of readjust himself and then come back after a couple game weeks, and hopefully be a better person and or a better goalkeeper. And yeah, I think that. So I was a little split. I think that it can go either way. He's either going to play for his father, like you said, and do great, or take the time off. And we probably won't see him, I think, for maybe a game week or two.
Yeah, fair enough. Prayers to the Becker family.
Everything about Liverpool right now is cursed. I don't know if you guys saw this as well, but apparently Klopp's mother passed away earlier.
I did see that.
He wasn't able to attend the funeral due to COVID restrictions or whatever. So I would be surprised if Alisson was. Well, actually, I don't know. I can't really say that. I wouldn't be surprised if they let him go. But if he did go, he'd probably have to be isolating for a while. So probably a good time to pick up Kelleher, unfortunately. And it sucks because Alisson, before all this happened, looked really depressed after every mistake he made, which is obvious, but he just looked depressed in net. So tough break.
Tough times for Liverpool.
He kind of does look just sad in there, Jay. He's got the moppy hair, just some sad eyes. Did you bring up how his father died? Wasn't it like I don't know if the details are out, but I saw he was swimming in a lake or something.
Yeah, he drowned in a lake apparently in Brazil.
That's a freak accident.
Yeah, absolutely.
It took some tips with Keegan shallow dives there.
Yeah, very true.
These deep dives.
All right, moving along, finish strong here. Everton Southampton. So on the topic of watching James Rodriguez, a great little assist for the Richarlison goal last weekend. And he's such a type. He's like a Jed Mosley. He's such a type. He's the slow, lazy, left-footed playmaker in the Premier League. We've seen a lot of them. So my question for all of you guys was, do you guys have a favorite slow left-footed playmaker that pulls the strings, a la James Rodriguez? Keegan, you got anyone in mind?
Yeah, I got an easy one here. This is an easy Lee Trundle answer right here.
Trundle.
Lee.
And anyone that wants to debate that, just YouTube 6-minute video, Lee Trundle Magic Man. Give it a watch. Or play with his 12 bronze 5-star skill, low work rate. Fits the mold perfectly.
He does.
Wonderful. That's a great shout, Keegan. Lee Trundle. Yeah, I'm not sure if James could lace his boots, but Lee Trundle a cut above. Sandy, you got anyone in mind that fits that profile?
I'm thinking pass for now.
Cam?
I had two, but I don't think one of them's left-footed. That's why I had to. I initially was thinking Santi Cazorla from Arsenal, but I'm
He's
pretty sure
both-footed.
He was both-footed, right?
Yeah.
Right-footed by definition.
He was right-footed with
right-footed by definition.
Yeah. So I had him to start because I thought he was just utter class, and I remember him just being able to whip in balls with his left foot on the right side, and then with his right foot on the left side, and I just thought that was always class. Mm-hmm. But if I was going to go by all day left-footed player, I don't know what we're really classifying by slow, but I would probably go with David Silva. I didn't think he was
well, he's slow. He's not lazy, but he's definitely slow.
Right, and he was another low medium work rate. So
yeah. I mean, jokes about Trundle aside, David Silva would be the gold standard for this exact type of player that we're talking about here.
I'd probably go with David Silva.
Yeah. And then you got your Juan Mata, who's another little kind of same mold. Keegan, I saw you grin. You have anyone else, or?
I just a quick note on Lee Trundle, quick update on what he's doing with his life. At the age of 44, he's currently Swansea youth coach, but he also still plays for Ammanford in the second Welsh division at 44 and has 12 goals in 14 games this season.
Oh my goodness, this guy's living the dream. He's a Swansea coach and he plays Div 2 Welsh and he's lighting it up. That's unreal.
He just subs himself in for pens.
Yeah.
He sounds like the ideal shotgun shootout man. Like just gifted in both the drinking and the pens.
Oh, that guy could hit an off the can barefoot shot.
Oh, he's done it on his spare time. Let's be honest.
Could do it with the best of them.
I mean, we've seen player managers before, but have we ever seen a player coach but coaching a different team than what he plays for?
Seriously. Yeah. It's like a player manager, but he doesn't play and manage for the same team.
Yeah, in a different country.
Oh, love it. All right, that was a good one. I guess the last thing, I thought Richarlison's celebration on that goal was pretty swaggy too, Cam. You see his little celebration there where he's just like kind of like the shocked celebration where he's looking around. I like that one. And you're our resident swag expert. Is Richarlison the swaggiest player in the league?
Oh, it's funny because out of all the questions, the most research I probably put into was this one. Funny enough. I'm going to stand by what I said podcasts ago. I think that the most swaggiest player I've seen play, based on how they actually played, the way they dribbled and moved the ball, and then based off of just how they kind of dressed and how they looked and their celebrations, would have to be Jesse Lingard still.
Lingard getting some love on
when he was against United. And did you see his celebration when he scored, when they did the band, they all had the instrument?
Yeah,
that was just class. I love that. And but then I thought it was him for sure. And then a little more recently, I'm gonna have to go with Saint Maximin.
Yeah,
just the way he plays, the way he dresses. He has the Gucci headband. He got banned from wearing the Gucci headband. He got fined. from the league. He can't wear it anymore. That just sums him
Love
up. Like what a legend that guy is. And yeah, just the way he plays, you can just those flashy players are usually super swaggy as well. So.
All right, that was a good little run through, guys. Some good banter there. I think it's time for the bets. Sandy, birthday boy, high man last week. You want to lead us off?
Love to, boys. I was just thinking when we were talking about that, should we all jump on the United Chelsea 0-0 this week? Try and get back that negative in one fell swoop, or what?
I'm on it.
I'm on a couple of things I think you guys will all like. So.
All right. Well, I'll throw that one in there. Okay. So I'm gonna go Villa. I'm gonna take Villa Leeds, although I might change this one. I don't know. I think Grealish is still questionable, or is he out? If Grealish is 100% not playing, I might take this one back. So just an asterisk there. I'm gonna go Matt. What am I doing here? Okay, I called that audible, so I'm not really sure anymore. Okay, I'm gonna go, stick with Villa. I'm gonna go Burnley under.
Hottest bet in sports betting.
Best bet in sports. Fulham. I'm gonna ride Fulham again this week. I'm gonna take Burnley or draw. I'm gonna take the Chelsea United under. I'm gonna take Everton, and I'm gonna take United Chelsea 0-0 now. Switched on to that one.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. Here's what I got this weekend. I got $5 on the Chelsea Man U 0-0. That's $55 if it hits, boys. And I hate myself for doing this because it was literally 2 weeks ago that I made this mistake to bet on Everton. But Everton at home against Southampton, coming off a big win. And I know we've been burned by this before, but I'm putting $5 on Everton to beat Southampton at home. I'm also putting $5 on Leicester. They just put all their eggs in the Premier League basket, so you better win this game at home against Arsenal. I think it's a decent number for them, $5 on Leicester. I've got 2 winner draw parlays, $10 on West Brom or draw and Aston Villa or draw. And $10 on Newcastle or draw and Palace or draw. I know Fulham's good, but Palace at home as an underdog, that one's a little shaky to me. I shouldn't say I know Fulham's good. I know Fulham's looked better lately, but Palace can squeak out results, as we've seen, guys. So yeah, that's what I've got. Brother Keegs?
Sorry, I just got to say this one funny thing because I looked up I punch into Google Grealish injury. The first thing that pops up, Marcelo Bielsa hopes Aston Villa's Jack Grealish returns from injury to face Leeds. I think definitely got lost in translation there.
Yeah. Are you sure, Marcelo?
I already DM'd him. He's using the tactic. He's hoping.
Oh, there we go.
Early.
Yeah, fast acting.
Yeah, he's fast acting, exactly. You're gonna see Patrick Bamford injured soon because people are dropping him. Just you see, Keegan.
And then gotta go 5 on United. Sandy, happy birthday. My birthday present for you is Aston Villa to beat Leeds, as well as betting on Aston Villa to beat Sheffield in their midweek game. And I'll even parlay it as well for you.
Aston Villa parlay, that's fun.
Even though Villa looked absolutely hopeless without Grealish.
But hey, how often can you parlay the same team? Like Aston Villa parlay. That's fun.
And I actually like them in both spots too. Well, assuming Grealish plays, but I kind of like them in both spots. Full strength. Brighton, I'll take them over West Brom. Hopefully free money. Leicester over Arsenal. Because Leicester rested their players. And I'll take Chelsea over Liverpool in the midweek action as well. I think kind of like that spot there. And Chelsea United 0-0 is what I got for my slate.
There we go. We ride together. Coach Cam, bounce back week. Let's hear it.
Yeah, you guys, I think you guys will like this. I don't know why, but I'm going to start with a 2-team parlay. I'm parlaying Leeds to beat Aston Villa. Because I think without Jack Grealish, they just, like you said, they've been struggling for sure. And then I also have Crystal Palace over Fulham. For the reason that Crystal Palace played high school soccer and won a game. So if they played Premier League soccer, they could probably beat a relegating Fulham. And then I have so I parlayed Chelsea United draw with Leicester Arsenal draw for $5. And then I also bet both of those individually for $5. So that'd be 5, 10, 15. And then I also bet $5 0-0 between Chelsea United. So I have $20 on those draws, paying out 17, 58, and 55. So if you see some draws, boys, I'm going to be fucking flying. But yeah, that's about it. $25, basically all draws.
All right.
And I put that extra $5 was on the draw 0-0. I only had 20, but I got to jump on with the boys. I'm not going to leave you guys stranded.
Very nice. So we'll be cheering for a 0-0 in Chelsea Man United. That's going to be sad, but if it happens, then we're going to erase that big negative, erase our debt of BBB bucks. Alrighty, boys, that was fun. Good to have the crew back on after a lean week last week. Some great banter and hopefully some great bets. Happy birthday, Sandy. And that's going to do it for another episode of Banter Bets BPL. Thank you for listening, and keep tuning in for some more great quality content here. All right. Peace.